It's pretty crazy. I just gave it a photo and now I can move around and walk directly through the room and explore it. If you want to try it out, the test is completely free, at least at the time I'm recording this video, and it's pretty impressive. It gives me a ton of ideas. Actually, as you can see in this tool, you just drag in an image, any image, for example, an AI generated image or a real photo, and it will turn it into a 3D world. And you can start with something very simple and basic, for example, just a picture of a street. And here, as you can see, I can look up, down, left, right, even behind me. I can even switch to a top-down view to see how things look from above. And of course, if I go too far, the image starts to get blurry. But that's not really the point anyway. There are already plenty of things you can do with this kind of service. I think for everyone who wants to make movies or series with AI, one of the big challenges is always having a consistent environment and being able to immerse yourself in that environment, which is in 3D. So let's imagine your story takes place in an abandoned convenience store. You just upload the image right here and voila, you can immerse yourself and walk around inside it and say to yourself, okay, the character could stand back there, there could be a door, for example. If I move forward a bit, we could also imagine what's behind the counter. And then we could very well take a screenshot of this image here and give it to an AI along with a picture of the character and say, I want this character in this image. And each time we'd end up with a background that makes sense. Well, you know me, I like to test things out. So let's do a little test with a screenshot of one of these locations. I'm going to take a screenshot of this place. I'll drop it here into the tool. And I'm going to ask it, put me standing in this abandoned supermarket. And let's see what it comes up with. So, just with 3 photos, 2 of me and 1 of this environment, it was able to generate this. This would serve as our atmospheric base, and then we could ask Gemini to enhance the image, change the camera angle a bit, and make it so that the person is performing an action, like searching for something on a shelf. And in any case, the AI understands this very well. Oh, by the way, if you're passionate about video and AI, I've launched a school, a forum with a complete training program that will allow you to learn and achieve this kind of result. And in the forum, everyone can interact and help each other out. All of this happens in a great atmosphere with people who are passionate. I'll also leave the link in the description for you. And you might say, okay, the images are still a bit blurry and lack detail. But at the same time, you can, for example, go to Gemini or ChatGPT and upload your image to ask for the photo to be corrected. In my test, ChatGPT was the winner and I gave it this image here. Here, you can clearly see that all the elements are distorted, but the result itself is actually pretty nice and totally usable. You could easily imagine it a bit blurred with a character in front. In any case, it will be more than usable and practical, even if only for creating comics, webtoons, or animated series. So all you have to do is log in to this site. I'll put the link in the description and you'll be able to choose different environments. Personally, I really like everything dystopian, science fiction, and anime. And I can totally see myself giving an image from my anime and being able to explore the environment in 3D to come up with new ideas, to think about scene transitions. I think this could be super interesting for anyone who's working on their book, for example. You use the prompt from the book, you generate an image, you give the image, and voila, your environment is generated and you can create more easily with an image and an explorable 3D world right before your eyes. There you go, I hope you enjoyed these few ideas. I find it super interesting. It's also really refreshing because I've seen some projects like this where it was choppy, where the results were completely incoherent and awful. I find it pretty interesting and I think I'm going to use it to generate several backgrounds and rework them, and also to open my mind more when I'm working on my animation or my creations. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and your projects. Ciao!